Welcome back to the Paper Pursuer. There's two more articles from Show Notes 1184, and I'm going to go ahead and knock them out on this one video. So the first one comes from PJ Media. It's titled Trump Doesn't Mince Words After Obama Takes Credit for Booming Economy by Matt Margolis, February 17th, 2020. On Monday, Barack Obama laughably tried to link his American Recovery and Reinvestment Act with the booming economy, claiming it paved the way for more than a decade of economic growth and the longest streak of job creation in American history. President Trump didn't mince words and accused Obama of trying to take credit for the Trump economy. Did you hear the latest con job? President Obama is now trying to take credit for the economic boom taking place under the Trump administration. Trump tweeted, he had the weakest recovery since the Great Depression, despite zero Fed rate and massive quantitative easing. Now, best jobs numbers ever. Had to rebuild our military, which was totally depleted. Rate Fed up, taxes and regulations way down, Trump added. Simply put, Trump is right. There have been 11 recessions since World War II, each of which was followed by a recovery. We did experience an economic recovery under Obama. It just happens it was the worst one. Here are the facts. All jobs lost in post-World War II recessions were recovered after an average of 25 months, but it took 77 months for employment to return to pre-recession levels, making Obama's recovery the slowest recovery of all of them, and by a wide margin. Obama is also the only president in U.S. history to have never had a single year of 3.0% or greater GDP growth. Economic growth during Obama's presidency was so bad that mediocre economic growth was considered the new normal. In September 2016, CBS News reported that, with U.S. economic growth stuck in low gear for several years, is leading many economists to worry that the country has entered a prolonged period where any expansion will be weaker than it has been in the past. Investors Business Daily noted that there was no upward trajectory to the economy on anyone's radar when Trump took office. But now that the economy is outperforming everyone's expectations, Trump's critics want to pretend that the current boom was already baked in the cake. Obama trying to take credit for the Trump economy is almost as laughable as Obama claiming to be scandal-free. If Obama thinks he can claim credit for the booming economy and that it will work, he's got another thing coming. A recent Gallup poll shows that most Americans credit President Trump for the economy. In my own opinion, cut a bunch of regulations, cut taxes, yeah, that's going to help bigly. Okay, last article, another short one. This one is on the Washington Examiner. It's an opinion piece. It's titled Iowa Caucus Chaos and Its Shadowy Origins by Teri, Christoph, February 18th, 2020. Thanks to the chaos that overtook the Iowa caucuses, seemingly the result of a faulty app developed by former Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama aides, the results have been questioned, discounted, and ignored. This has to be especially galling for Bernie Sanders, who may believe he was denied the 2016 nomination by party operatives back in Clinton. Sure enough, the belated and possibly tainted results of the caucuses showed Pete Buttigieg besting Sanders in Iowa. It must feel like Groundhog Day to poor Sanders. And then there are the motives of the players behind the failed app, a murky web of Democratic power players and megadonors who despise President Trump and, presumably, don't much like Sanders either. Disruption is the name of the game with this crowd, and not in a good way. Faulty technology is nothing new to the world of politics. Both sides of the aisle have had their share of misfires in the race to beat the other side to digital supremacy. Does anyone remember Orca? The more you follow the money, however, the more likely it seems that the special interests behind the app, and not the app itself, are to blame for the Democratic debacle in the Hawkeye state. The app was developed by the ominously named Shadow Inc. 3 of Shadow's top executives worked on Clinton's failed 2016 presidential campaign. Shadow, it turns out, is a project of the blandly named nonprofit organization Acronym. Acronym, helmed by Obama campaign alum Tara McGowan, garnered lots of media attention last year with promises of big money spends to ensure that Trump was denied a second term. The media and, strangely, some on the right were promoting McGowan and her organization as the cutting-edge new face of political strategy. Acronym is one of those deceptive stories about political operatives suckling from the same old sources of leftist funding, but pretending it's the whiz-bang new thing that will revolutionize politics. Acronym, it turns out, took $250,000 from the nonprofit group New Venture Fund in 2018, a fund used by wealthy leftist philanthropists, including George Soros, to channel billions of dollars to shadowy nonprofit groups. With NVF and other similar funds distributing the money, these nonprofit groups don't have to disclose its original source. They simply pop up overnight as astroturf political operations flush with undisclosed, untraceable cash. Democrats rage publicly against dark money, but they simultaneously stick out their hands and greedily grab gobs of it. Acronyms McGowan, it should be noted, uses a profile picture on Twitter of her smirkly reading a book entitled Dark Money. The debacle in Iowa proves that the status quo reigns in the Democratic Party. There may be new faces and glitzy new malfunctioning apps on the surface of things, but deep down, it's the same old secretive dark money funding the same old propagandists and peddlers of misinformation. Oh boy. So that's the last of the articles from episode 1184, and I will see you for the next ones.